So
sure.
We come from different backgrounds. So if we have a friction as couple, it's not a problem, but how you settle it. So my question is, sincerely, I want you to answer me, sir. Yeah. How do you settle conflicts with your wife? You've been married for how long now?
By the grace of God, my marriage is 21 years now.
I would have loved that your wife is already at so that you call it Kotaro.
She's going to be a viewer, so
yes.
Because sincerely and honestly, how do you people settle conflicts? Issues.
In my own case, anyway, because we had a long courtship, we took time to study ourselves. So anytime we have conflict, we use silence approach. People that believe so much that time heals things. And she also, by virtue of being my wife, discovered it very early that when I'm angry or when I have offended you, instead of talking nonsense to offend you the more, I will withdraw. And as I withdraw, I expect you also to withdraw.
Cello, brother, cello.
Yes.
Cello, maka silence are the heavy. Cello, yeah, you know what you being kitty no.
Not really watching kitty.
Cello, maka watching kitty. Anyway, come on, season. No, come on with ego.
No.
When you offer you the face side.
How we did like I said, because of the long time we took to study ourselves before we really get engaged into the marriage proper, we have also come to know that the silence shouldn't stop the activities of the house. Silence, I mean, is on that particular issue that is in.
Okay, but you people are talking.
No, we will do everything we want to do. I will have a face-off with my wife now, and I want to go out, and our light, maybe currently I'm talking about now that we are on prepaid, and our light is on low credit. She will say, if there is no food in the house, and you're having a face-off maybe based on one other thing, and you need to handle that one before you talk about food. We try to, as much as we can, to avoid conflict of issues, because that conflict of issues, that's the one that spoils things in the house. If I want to send a message to her, and we are facing off, let me just use that facing off. We are facing off, and I don't know how to do it. What I will do, she does it very well. She will send one of the children. Tell your father that our rice has finished.
And you will oblige her, right?
Once I hear that is the secret. That is one formula I use, and she has let it, like my wife. My wife, she is, of course, every woman should know her husband, and every husband should know his wife. Once you start applying, when I started applying it initially, it was difficult for me. This gas, you know that kind of thing. You know that kind of thing.
Yes.
Oh no, get out with your gas. Don't tell me. Sometimes I will pick quarrel with the child, misplacing aggression.
So wait, President.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, who goes first trying to broker peace?
No, nobody specially.
It just happens.
Nobody specially comes first, because what we do, if we have face off, I blame myself on the areas I have erred, because in every face off, in every problem between a couple, both parties have themselves to blame. So it is only you, when you blame yourself, that you open your heart for peace. And her too, she has learnt me, I've learnt her. While I'm blaming myself, she'll be blaming herself. So should there be anything that comes up, we blame together.
So who makes the first move?
It could be me. It's just an opportunity.
Are you saying it because she's not here?
No, it's just an opportunity. If she's here, she will tell you that. It's just we catch an opportunity. That's how we.
It happens naturally.
Yeah,
okay,
that's how.
Silence.
But that one is absolute silence.
That's what I'm saying. You have
Which is very
different types. That's why I started laughing.
We'll still get to that.
This silence that you put are silence.
If I understand what he meant was that they'll be silent on that
issue.
Yes, nobody will talk about it again.
Because it's still very hot.
But we may not be friends anymore
at that time.
At that particular moment.
At that time.
You will notice that we are not friends. Even if you are a third party that
but other activities are going on.
Yes.
Official home activities will be going on.
Official
home activities will be going on.
So you see, you're not the only one having issues in your home. So when you have issues, find a way to bring peace.